You ready to get to work?
Hey everybody, good morning and welcome back to Dad Bear DIY and part 7 of our 1999 Jeep Cherokee interior refresh project. A few days have passed since the last taping, and I do have some updates on previous portions of this project. Part 5 we had to kind of cut short because we were having some air compressor issues, and that just the temperature was not working well with us, and I wasn't going to try to tape through the on and off of the air compressor. So did eventually get that finished up, and I'll go ahead and roll some follow-up footage of how the floor plan looks right now.
Sorry about not being able to get all this on tape. Just the issues we were having with the air compressor. Just it was enough to, I just ended up doing the rest of this off camera, but I just kind of wanted to show you what we ended up with. Hit all the main spots. Anything that's on there now is dirt. We are going to have to wipe this down before we finish putting our sound deadener on, but all the main spots have been taken care of, and I'm not expecting any future issues. And if we do have future issues, it's going to be a long time before we do. So but anyway, so we got that done. Today we're going to be putting down the sound deadening.
So as you can see, the floor turned out pretty good. It's not perfect, but there really wasn't a whole lot of rust to deal with in this floor pan. So I hit all of the major spots. I did not paint the entire floor pan, but we've got all the key spots taken care of, and we should not have to worry about them. The next part of the project was to work on the headliner, something that I hadn't planned on doing at that time. But because of the issues we've been having with the insulation that we installed on the ceiling not adhering properly, I decided to go ahead and do the headliner so that we can put the insulation up, install the headliner, and then let the headliner keep the insulation up there where it's supposed to be. So I'll do a quick follow-up on how the headliner is doing, and I'll show you that right now.
And for a quick update on the headliner, this has been sitting now for almost 2 days, and everything seems to have set really well. On these mostly flat areas, I've got no bubbles. The material hasn't shrunk back or pulled away in any way. I do have a couple of air bubbles back here, which is kind of to be expected, and I'm not sure if I'm really going to be able to do anything about those. But since I ended up having to do this myself, and of course I'm not a professional, you know, it is what it is. But it still looks better than what we had before, and I'm going to go ahead and go with it. So all that's going to be left to do with this is we're going to be trimming the sides and the back to the edge, if I'm correct. Yeah, to the edge. And the front, I'm going to leave about an inch overlap so that I can wrap that around, and we'll use the adhesive to hold that in place. And then once we get it in there, once we get the headliner reinstalled, that'll be held in place. So won't have to worry about that. But that's the update on the headliner.
So as you can see, the headliner is doing okay. There's a couple of bubbles, but again, it's the first time I've done a headliner. I really can't complain about it, and I dealt with some things that I wasn't expecting. So, but I think that's going to work just fine. Once we get it trimmed out, like I said, get it in place, I think it's going to look great, and the the small imperfections are not going to be that visible or an issue. And then from that point on, we'll get to see how long that headliner fabric works. If it ends up staying up, great. If it doesn't, then I know that I either need to go with a different adhesive, which is probably the case, or I need to go with a different material. And at that point, I may have somebody else do it. But that is still, I'm letting that sit another day. I want to go ahead and get started on this sound deadener. And this sound deadener, I really don't know how long it's going to take. And I've got a couple of days of, we'll say, workable conditions to get that installed. So we're going to bust this out today. And to do that, we're out here early. It is between 8:30 and 9 o'clock right now. It is a little muggy, but it's bearable right now, and we're supposed to get up into the mid-80s today. So I want to try to take care of this, get as much of this done today. We are going to push, and if we can get the sound deadener laid out today, that's the plan. If we can get the sound deadener laid out and go ahead and trim out the headliner, even better. So the stuff we're going to be using, some of it you've already seen. I'm going to be trying to use this Pink Power cordless scissors to cut the sound deadener if it needs to be cut. I'm not sure how these blades are going to work on that, with that sticky stuff. So we'll see. There is an extra set of blades that come with this though. So if I ruin one, I'm not going to be out this awesome little tool, because this thing has been money. The other things we've got, you've already seen one of them, one of the rollers. We've also, in that kit, also came, I want to say this is a 2-inch roller. This one looks like 1.5 inches, 1 inch, and then like a 1/4 inch roller to get in the grooves. So, and I'll have, of course, the part numbers for that. Got these from Amazon, and they'll be in the description. And the sound deadener itself, I took a look at different sound deadeners. I found a lot of reviews on different things, and what I decided to go with was the Amazon Basics car sound deadener. This is a 9-piece kit. These are 18-inch by 32-inch slabs. And of course they're heavy. 22 almost 22 pounds. These have been tested against other brand name sound deadening material, and they have performed as good as most of them. So that's why I went with the Amazon Basics. Again, I'll put this part number also in the description, but this is what we're going to be using. Those are the tools. I'm going to do a quick wipe down of this to get any last minute dust or anything off the surface, and we're going to get started. And I think, for my sanity, I'm going to start back here, the easier part, you know, cut my teeth on that, and then once we start getting to the more intricate areas, I'll already at least have had some experience with this. So, thanks for checking out the video, guys. If it's the first time at the channel, awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Consider giving us the subscription button a click and the notification bell so you can find out when we got new stuff coming out, because we work on all kinds of things. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. We really appreciate it, and it helps us keep going on this channel, more spiritually than anything. I hope you like it. I hope you like it. I'm not a professional. This is just me doing this, okay? I'm trying to save myself money, and that's what we're going to do. So, everybody, hit that like, subscription, notification bell, share the video if you know somebody that might like it, and leave a comment if you got tips, tricks, suggestions, questions, you know, gripes, things you saw that you didn't like, or things that I did wrong. Let me know. If you've had experience doing this sort of thing, things I can look out for, put it in the comments. I really appreciate it and I'll respond. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Alright guys, I want to take a minute to show you what we got in our packaging for our sound deadener. We're going to be able to cover most of the cargo area with 3 sheets. But those are our sound deadener sheets. One last note, like I said, we're starting early today because it's very humid and it's going to get hot. And I said we're going to push to get this job done. If you've watched any of my other videos before, you've seen how sometimes that can be a bad idea. I have lots of water to hydrate. I am going to take frequent breaks. So if you're doing something like this and the conditions, we got a nice breeze right now. It feels great. But if you're going to be doing this, be mindful of your environment and be aware of heat exhaustion.
Hey everybody, as we get started here, you may have noticed that there's no music in the background. As I'm editing this, I am reliving just how exhausting this entire project has been. The amount of work and time that has had to go into doing this was way more than I ever imagined and even dreaded. So I am so looking forward to this project being done. It feels like it's taken the wind out of my sails, and I know it's probably not been the easiest thing to watch. I never expected this to become the series of videos that it was. Just know that this is not what I want you guys to have to suffer through. So I'm posting the videos because I want you to be able to see the process and not just see a quick edited version of the process. I want you to get a sense of how long it takes. And this is physically was one of the most demanding projects I've had to do. As far as frustration level goes, only having to change a rear main seal, oil filter adapter O-rings, and an oil pan gasket have been worse than this. And for those of you that have worked on XJs, you probably understand what I'm getting at. Very, very long and tedious. And this, it doesn't help that the environment is what it is. So this little interruption is really just to kind of explain how hard this job is. It takes time. It's uncomfortable. You're bent over a lot of the time, and if you've got back problems like I do, it takes all the energy out of you, and that's why it's taken so long to get this job done. So I apologize about not having any background music to help pass the time here, but I just wanted to get past even the memory of having to do all this work. It is tough. We do have a shot of the end product. We have a short little clip of the end product at the end. Feel free to go check that out. And, as far as watching the process, I've sped it up 10 times, and you could probably still watch it at 2 times playback speed to speed that up. You're not going to be able to see some of the areas that I work on anyway because of the angle of the camera. But I just wanted to share with you so you know that if you're thinking about doing this job and you've got any kind of physical limitations or whatnot, this is a very, very challenging job. So, again, sorry for the interruption. I know there's already been a ton of talking in this video, but I just wanted you to know. Like I said, I am I want this job to be done so badly. and and I'm not. I'm. It would probably take a lot going wrong for me to pull all this stuff back out and redo this job, or do something else to this extent. Underneath, interior work is just really tough. So, thank you for checking out the video. Again, sorry for the interruption, and I apologize for not having more background music or any background music at all this time. But thanks for watching the video, and I will see you on the other side.
All right, guys, gonna take a break, have some lunch, and then see if I can get out here for a little bit afterward. I don't know if we do because we've got an appointment to go to this afternoon. But super pleased with the so far with the sound deadener. Keeping the scraps to fill in little spots. Just trying to make sure I get the best coverage on the main parts. The footwell, back seat footwell, and underneath the front seat. That went in pretty good. I'm happy with that. The driver side, the driver footwell, that's going to be a challenge, but we will get that. And then we'll work on the other side, get those areas taken care of, and then work on the fillers. So driver footwell, passenger side footwells, starting from the back and moving forward like we did here. And then I'll probably do the transmission tunnel and then fill in under the rear seat. That's the plan. And then anything after that is going to be hitting these wheel wells and see if I can get some in on the quarters here, since I've got the covers off. I know I should try to put some in on the doors. I'm just not sure if my motivation is going to get me there. So, but we're going to get this done. It's looking good so far. And once I get it done, of course, I'll do a walk around with it. So, taking a break. Be back in a bit. Just real quick, this is an old DeWalt battery that I've had for decades, and it died, and I had it set aside to recycle. It's been, like I said, it's been years. This thing's been dead for years. I tried that jump start your battery so they'll charge again, and it appeared to work. So this is actually going to be the first time I'm trying this out. Just using the vacuum for a little short bit here. We'll see how well it worked. Seemed to work. Don't throw away your batteries. All right, we're going to take a quick break, just do a little bit of cooling down, get some water, and start planning out where our last sheet of sound deadener is going to be. So we'll be back. Hey everybody, we're going to do a quick just follow up on the sound deadener. Somehow I lost the last hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of installation footage. I don't know how it happened. Anyway, I wanted to go ahead and just do a quick show of what we did with the sound deadener. You guys got to see most of it get put in, but this is what we ended up with. The tunnel was a challenge, but I think it came out all right. I used little scraps to fill in little pieces. I know there's a couple small spots that aren't covered, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Those of you wondering, those removable covers, I did not put anything on, just in case I do need to remove those for some reason. But try to block the sun as best as I can. So there's our sound deadener. Now before I put the carpet back in, I'm actually going to take this wire here, which should be the harness that leads, if you had power seats, leads across to the driver's side and whatnot for the power seats. Since I'm going to try to refit the base of the Grand Cherokee seats that I got to fit over here, I want to go ahead and make sure I've got that wire run across to the driver's side. So I'm going to do that before I put the carpet in. But before I put the carpet in, I'm going to take it over, clamp it up to the railing on our little kind of makeshift patio, and beat it out with a tennis racket to get any of the loose dirt that is that's still in the carpet after the wash, to get it out. Sorry for the shaking. Anyway, just wanted to give you a look at what we got done with the sound deadener. I'm pretty happy with it. I've got a small piece left. I could have used to try to do the inboard, some of the inboard rocker rails, but I figure if I'm going to end up doing that, I'm going to need to buy more, so I wasn't going to do some of it. I'll just do it if I ever get to the point where I decide to order more sound deadener. So that's what the sound deadener looks like. All right, everybody, we got the carpet back in, and you know what? It really doesn't look that bad. I know it's still stained. There's just nothing I'm going to be able to do about it. Unless I'm replacing it or having it detailed, it's not going to be an issue. Put our retaining pins back in over there. But everything, it went back in without too much fuss, which is great. You can see we got our wire here for our possible power seats. That's for our seatbelt indicator. Everything lined up. Looks good. Glad to have the carpet back in. Kind of
Helps reinforce that we're getting close. Next part is going to be putting in the console. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to go in and spend some time with Mom Bear. But we're getting there. Console sitting right there. Need to clean it up before bringing it over and putting it in. And go from there. And then here before too long we'll put this insulation panel back up. I got some new adhesive, some 3M stuff. Contact adhesive. So I expect it's going to work much better. So once I get that, but it's funny, the other panels are doing fine. That for whatever reason, that middle panel just did not want to stay. So, but we'll get that panel in there and flip over. I'm probably going to have to put the headliner in myself, which is going to make that entertaining. In the meantime, I'm going to separate the new to me seats from the bases so I can take them and have them fixed while I work on the driver's side power seat, see if I can get that to work. So, well guys, that's the update today. I feel like you guys might appreciate the fact that I'm just kind of doing these short little cuts and not showing you, or showing you the struggle of me rustling this carpet and everything in. That's not really what you want to see. So we will be back when we get a little bit more done. So thanks for checking out the videos, and we'll be back in a bit. But until then, I should go.